Welcome back to my channel, everybody. I thought it would be quite a joy, a pleasure to do an exploratory video on the nature of trauma. You know, today I think we are dealing with a society that is throwing around psychological terms like narcissistic wound, trauma, personality disorders, borderline, just throwing around these labels. But we have a society that needs to go inside, needs to look at the self a little bit more accurately to have a more, I would say, objective understanding of what all these things mean. So in this video, that's what I want to do for you with the topic of trauma. So what is trauma? I think the first thing that we need to understand is that there is trauma in the broadest sense of the word, which is simply the experience of human pain and suffering and disconnection, and that there is trauma that would be more capital T trauma, as I think some have said, which is more severe experiences of neglect, abuse, etc. And it's important to understand that there can be multiple experiences of trauma, sort of you could say like a positive sort of feedback loop associated with difficulties in life. We all have difficulties, but some of us have one and then another. So for example, we could have a divorce of a parent, a death of a loved one, in addition to maybe a parent addicted to a substance, in addition to a parent with severe mental illness. You know, we can have multiple sort of risk factors that are associated with more severe trauma. And I think that when we're dealing with trauma more directly, we are looking for individuals who have a lower level of functioning. So when people go through more severe traumas or multiple traumas, or even that they are constitutionally a little bit more vulnerable, we do see more psychotic and borderline-like features. And what that means is that there is frequently, at least temporarily or even permanently, the inability for that individual to cope with reality, such that the self is fragmented in some way. And this is more commonly understood in relation to what attachment researchers have come to understand to be disorganized attachment. So trauma, like real trauma, is always associated with disorganized attachment. So I would encourage you to look that up and understand that. But to better understand that, in short, I'll summarize it for you. So disorganized attachment leads to a fragmenting of the self-representation or the ego. When I am trying to attach to a parent, I can assume an adaptive style. I can feel secure. I can feel insecure. I can be dismissive of the parent. I can avoid the parent. I can be anxious and preoccupied with the parent, or I can be pulled towards the parent while at the very same time being terrified of the parent. So if I feel like I'm physically in danger of the parent or neglected or abused by that parent while simultaneously needing to get close to that parent, I am pulled in two separate directions, and the neurotic strategies that naturally emerge begin to fail, and the borderline/psychotic levels of functioning begin to emerge. A very good example of this may be just to put a simple example, a paranoid structure. So a male more commonly struggles with obsessive thinking over another person, maybe that they're thinking ill of them, maybe that they're going to make fun of them. And well, at a certain point, they can see that they are, they're being a little paranoid. It's okay. It's unlikely that that's true. But then there are periods in their life where they truly feel that other people are out to get them, that are going to hurt them, and they obsess and they have paranoid ideation, and it can spiral. So we can see that in more disorganized levels of attachment, we do see more of that latter phenomena. So what is trauma? Trauma is, in my view, a natural part of life But for the majority of the psychiatric population, inpatient population, we are dealing with something more severe. We're dealing with disorganized and fragmented senses of the self and ego functioning that emerges from a disorganized attachment, typically relatively early in this individual's life. So that's what trauma is. So I'll talk to you guys later about other factors associated with my understanding of trauma. I want to do trauma-informed psychotherapy. Trauma-informed psychotherapy is necessary, but it's also necessary for doing really ethical medicine. Okay, so I'll see you all in a new video soon. If you enjoyed this, let me know with a like. You can comment any thoughts below, and you can subscribe if you want to hear more from me. See you soon.